Alrighty. So we're going to start off with a recap of the things that happened last week. Please remember to start your recap with your character's name and their concept. Alright? And if that's ambiguous in any way, try to explain it a little bit for the folks at home. We're going to start with Michael.
Of course. Alright. So, I'm playing Andrew Cross, aka Industry. I'm an adaptable techie. Sorry. So last week I had returned from a out-of-game week-long absence, but in-game only a few minutes had passed. I went to go hide the civilian we were protecting, who is currently crippled and tied to a
What's her
broken...
name?
Megan Stiles, was it?
No. Yeah, it's Megan Stiles, man. Is it? Is it?
Oh, it's backpack.
At least now I know who my second guest is on the PC pilot.
Yo, what's up?
Saving civilians. Don't know civilians say.
It's not the character. It's
So-
the pilot driving.
Right? It's not the car.
Honestly, I knew the first name. I just wanted to make sure I got the last name right.
Okay, so let's keep going.
So, I had her away from the shenanigans that was going on in the YBI, and returned to the fight. Honestly, it was going better than I was expecting it to, but worse than I had hoped. I managed to sneak up behind some of the YBI as they were making their way to attack
YBI, now these YBI are the gang members, right?
Young Boys Incorporated.
Young Bodies Incorporated. Nice. I like that. Young Boys Incorporated.
So, they were going off to attack the three people I believe was on...
Young Bodies Incapacitated.
I want to say it was the left side of the building, to where Predator, McMillan, and the Lion were.
So McMillan's also known as Firewalker, so just so everybody understands. Continue.
So
So you were trying to get there to support them.
Yep. I managed to come up from behind and take down one YBI
And then what
before
happened?
another one. Me and him got in a little bit of a firefight.
So there's a lot of YBI.
Yeah.
Maybe more than you thought was actually originally.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Things went south pretty fast. And the next thing I knew, it was me and Legion left in a room being encountered by the big and powerful Zeus.
Zeus has been a name that has been terrorizing Wednesdays for a long time.
One of the 99, the big heavy hitters of the YBI.
Yep.
And ultimately he gave us a pretty simplistic choice.
So what was it?
Surrender or die.
Get a coin. Daniel, let's talk about it. Speaking of one of the 99.
I am Slabs, a simple brute, and a former member of the YBI.
Okay.
Like was a
You switch sides. You're now on the winning side, right?
I wish. Then Anton has a thing for the underdog.
Fair.
Emphasis on being the underdog right now because everything that had happened. But for the most part, I was engaged with Zeus pretty much the whole time.
You
Actually,
were going one-on-one with the Great One.
yeah, and I was able to take it. I was able to
You were able to take it until you couldn't.
take it on the chin for some time before I wasn't able to, because
Zeus he's kind of a canny fighter, isn't he?
yeah, and he basically knocked me to the ground and pinned me to the floor and just started beating on me.
And sooner or later, that beating actually started mattering, right?
Yes. Well, actually, yes and no. Basically, he wasn't. It wasn't. Most of his attacks actually didn't do anything to me. It was the final one that not only wounded me, but also knocked me the fuck out.
We call that the curb stomp.
Yeah, and I was knocked out, and I was knocked out for the rest of the session.
Okay.
Now, not that Slabs knows it, but he is currently being transported by a secretive helicopter, like stealthcopter, to probably a base owned by our enemies to be experimented upon by Dr. Death, my old character.
Who else is there at the base?
The Fabricator.
Who else?
Maybe even Lexington Pale.
Who else?
Silencer.
Who is?
Another former character of mine returned evil.
I just want to make sure that's established. Okay, Daniel, get a coin. Jay?
Okay.
Who are you playing?
My name is Jason. I'm playing Jason, a.k.a. Predator, a.k.a. the American Predator.
Just keeps going. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Concept is dedicated crime fighter.
Yes.
Alright. So, he was in an all-out battle. His fist versus guys with axes and bats, and he was knocking them out left, right, and center.
So you were taking a heavy toll on the YBI.
Yeah.
If everybody had been able to take as much as you had, this would be a moot situation. It would have been victory.
I can't remember how many people I even took out overall in that
Right?
encounter.
But let's just say a lion's share. Okay, continue. So we got a third guest. All right.
When it started getting down to the last guy who was in melee combat, pretty much my other two comrades who were in the corridor with me had already fallen, and the firing squad had started making their way towards me.
Oh, shit.
They had given me the option of surrendering.
Okay, so that was, if we're going to meta it, that was the game master saying you can give up and still be conscious and alive. And you chose to play the poor meta and continue.
I did choose the poor meta.
Yep.
I don't regret it.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. We're still in the process of seeing what the regret is.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
so let's go.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yes.
So what ended up happening was the guy with the shotgun took out his own friend shooting me. Meanwhile,
That's savage. How good are they?
Oh, they don't give shit to each other.
No.
Meanwhile,
Life is cheap in the bowels. Okay.
The AK with armor-piercing rounds and the two handguns essentially was able. It took the entire firing squad to put me down.
And you went down in a hail of lead.
Yeah, I was dying. I did make my saving throws to make sure I wasn't dying.
Saving throws, death saves. That sounds like 5th edition.
Still won't play it.
So they get you just 1 foot in the door, and then suddenly.
Okay, it's good. It's good, Jay. Anything else happened though? So you want to cover?
My body was grouped up with everyone else, and we were on our way to a unknown secret facility.
Controlled by?
The Serpent Society.
I love the Serpent Society. Okay, get yourself a coin. You're going to need it. Luke, if you can make it through a recap, let's come with the virus going on.
The COVID kid.
I know, the COVID kid.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like
Bro.
that too.
What's up, COVID?
So I am playing Firewalker, also known as William McMillan, and I'm the smart-ass investigator.
Also known as Captain Riley. For everybody else that's doing the YouTube links.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So, mainly with the fight, I was trapped in the corner and trying to protect myself. I ended up killing one YBI member, but the rest I just couldn't hold back and they brought me down. They only knocked me out, but they didn't kill me.
Okay.
Then when the fight ended, it ended up somehow I disappeared. And the only pretty much remnants of me was this Chinese symbol, like drawn or carved into the ground where I was.
It was burned in.
Burned in.
Burned. Because, you're kind of a fire guy.
Yes.
So, when did that Chinese symbol have any kind of... Well, it was like a Chinese symbol.
Yeah.
What did it have any reference to, ultimately?
I figured out who did it.
Who did it?
It ended up... Lady Chow did it, but...
Lady Chow? Who's Lady Chow?
She is... I don't know if the leader, but she's one of the higher ranks of the Serpent Society.
Everybody needs a number 2.
Yes. And the main reason she did it is because Marla, my girlfriend, influenced her to do it.
Now, how would Marla influence anybody with those spindly arms and 98 pounds soaking wet? She's got some hot tattoos, but that's about it.
It's because Lady Chow needed a tether to stay in this world and chose Marla.
So Marla is her host.
Yes. And they're linked together.
How messed is that?
That's really messed up because...
Because you've been getting it on.
Yeah, so it might...
The older the berry.
No.
The sweeter the juice.
No.
That's recorded. So let's keep going.
But not really.
So did you, when you came out of your beating and your horrible situation, was it Marla you were talking to, or was it Lady Chow?
I was talking to Lady Chow.
That's cringeworthy.
So, she explained all that and that I'm special. That she needs me, and this is, if I don't do what they say, all my friends are gonna die. They're gonna kill them.
No, what does she want you to do?
She hasn't told me yet. She just wants me to rest now. So I'm thinking.
She's being nice.
Yeah,
like
she
a nice old grandma.
Well, I'm thinking.
That you have sex with.
Let's take it out of context. It's still Marla's body. It's good.
Whatever helps you
Freaky
sleep
Friday.
at night.
It's good.
Hold on, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, whatever helps you sleep with her at night.
Yeah. Like Marla smells fresh. Let me tell you what Lady Chow smells like. Okay, let's go.
But William kind of has information because of his connection with the lurker at the threshold.
Oh no.
That they might need the lurker to open some
I think that might be a
gateway to their world.
Do you have any idea what that world's called? Does William?
No.
Does Firewalker know?
No, he has no idea.
He's gonna learn.
He's gonna be the gateway. He's gonna turn into like a door. Literally.
This could get slammed.
It's gonna hurt.
Luke, I love you. Here's a coin.
Thank you.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready. My name's Jordan. I'm playing Legion / anyone. I am a driven infiltrator.
Let's go drive.
So, you've all heard we are being taken in to the Serpent Society. We don't know what's in store. During the fight, I did better than last week, though. I would say that. I took out a few more guys.
More than the lion, right?
More than the lion, I think.
Okay. It's gonna get. I'm really gonna get that giant back.
At least
like,
one
boom.
more. At least one more.
Yeah.
I was shot. I'm up to 3 wounds, which is not good.
Hold on. How many times has anyone been shot? Too many times.
Too many times. I've been shot while crawling out across a hospital floor.
Okay.
I
So
was shot like 4 times in that alone.
We're just gonna change your name to 50 Cent.
50 Cent? 50 Cent?
All right.
I'm still alive. Otherwise, it'd be Tupac.
You're just gonna die from lead poisoning.
Jordan, too soon.
The
All right.
more blood in your system than there is blood.
So, seems that the battle's over. This is going to be more of a long game session, I'm thinking, which is something I am more. This is more my forte, so I'm looking forward to playing this out.
Okay. Anything else?
Took out some bad guys.
You said that a couple
Zeus
times.
arrested us.
Zeus arrested
Pretty
you.
much, right? Sent us to the Serpent Society.
How did they arrive? How did the Serpent Society arrive? How you guys get
Helicopters.
important?
Which was very, very weird. And Zeus was very apprehensive about doing it.
All right, so Jordan, did you get your coin?
I did not give him.
All right, well you did pretty good, and it leaves Brill. Last, but definitely not least.
Well,
No. Least just left. Let's go.
At least she's not worse. My name is Brill. I play Yuma Huang, aka the Lion. 2 sessions ago, I was a Cuisinart, badly injured, but still managed to carve up a bunch of shotgun wielding YBI members.
You were the lawnmower man. You were just cutting them down.
However, this last session started off with me finishing off the final member of that squad and standing out in the open with 2 guys with AK-47s pointed at me. So I quickly darted for some cover, which ended up being a very good thing, as several other members with handguns and shotguns decided to come over to our side, as the other side was being dealt with by Zeus,
So
and they felt that they didn't need to be there.
So different sides of the building were being engaged in different ways. So you're talking about guys with handguns, shotguns, assault rifles. I've heard there were guys with like fire axes. I heard there was baseball bat. Like, how many YBI were in that building dealing with you guys? There was a lot of
I want
dance
to say
partners.
somewhere between 25 and 30.
So we'll say 28. Be safe. So around 28, 28 dance partners,
Plus Zeus.
right? And that's split up between 6 people. So that's almost 5 dance partners a person.
I killed 5 people.
So you did your quota. All right.
I clocked out for the day.
So I quickly dove for cover and took stock of the situation. And while hearing gunfire, I managed to lure one of the guys with the AK-47 towards me, which allowed me to quickly rush up to him and cut him down.
Amazing. And then-
However, in doing so, he was covered by another guy with an AK-47 who was in nice point-blank range, and that's the last we heard of the line for that session,
yeah,
as he got shot down.
yeah, he got lit up. All right.
Finally put down with 6 wounds.
So how did you survive? Like like most people at that point aren't even recognizable.
So what had happened, my character won't know this until he wakes up. Zeus had orders to take as many people as he could alive.
Worst orders ever.
I agree. To which he was very unhappy with, and in his anger of having to follow this order, threatened to kill any member of the YBI who questioned the order. That's how angry he was about it. He couldn't kill us, so he'd kill...
He killed them.
He would. With help from a gadget from industry, was able to use a medical kit to save the life of myself and the Predator.
Oh my goodness. Think industry on point. Saving characters' lives. Okay.
Yeah, well, save is a subjective term.
Saving characters' lives since last session. Okay.
Save is a very subjective term.
Anything else went
Gotta
on?
start somewhere.
No, we know that the helicopters arrived. Okay. Strange military grade but unmarked helicopter showed up to take you guys to an undisclosed and unknown location. But anything else was going on?
Zeus was talking with his surviving gang members. Pretty much said that anyone who was knocked out still alive of the YBI should be put down so they don't have to return disgraced to Rocket.
And who's Rocket?
Rocket is, as far as we know, the leader, or at least very high up, of the YBI.
Now, you might think that Rocket's name is spelled like a starship rocket, but it's not. It's Rocket put together. Like, I'm going to rock it. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Guys, just so you guys know.
It's really Stonehenge.
Pull it. Rock it. Jerk it. Fire it. Luke it. I'm sorry you're sick, though.
No, I'm good.
I don't want you to be sick.
I'm not sick.
I hope you're not sick. Okay, anything else, bro? Because you got your coin.
Yeah.
But is there anything else?
And this was also the last link that we needed to pin the YBI towards the Serpent Society. We knew at one point that the YBI were working for the cops, the corrupt cops. But this is the first time that it skipped the chain of command and went straight to the Serpent Society.
This is very true.
Well, this is a big deal, right? Like, you guys are a big deal. This could be ending the situation in Lincoln Gates quite handedly. And the Serpent Society is happy that it went down in the bowels where nobody even cares. Right? Pretty effectively a demilitarized zone that is completely blocked from the regular public consumption. Okay.
There was one last
Kind of
thing.
like Oakland.
Is
Fully Brampton.
Zeus threatened to kill, even though he had orders, he threatened to kill the two conscious members, Industry and Legion, if they did not tell him where Megan Styles was hid.
So he has Megan Styles as well. They got everybody.
Yeah.
They got everybody. Even the people that you guys were oath sworn to protect. They got them all.
Yep.
Savage.
Otherwise, it went swimming.
I think it was a good session. All right, get your coin. Let's start things off.
Thank you. Oh yeah, so one last thing hanging on the wall of Lady Chow's room that Luke failed to mention was the lion's mask.
She's got the mask.
She's a mask. Doesn't look anything fancy.
I will cut you down and kill you.
Was it yours or was it just a golden mask?
No, it was his.
It's his.
I don't.
Maybe I wasn't clear last week, but it is his.
Firewalker William doesn't know it's his.
All right, are we ready?
No.
I'm just asleep.
All right, Luke. You're going to be out for a little bit, so just pay attention. Make notes. We start things off. I want you guys to picture a concrete room with a low ceiling, with a single metal table and 2 metal chairs. The table and the chairs are built into the very concrete foundation of the room. There's only one door to get in. Okay? A reinforced security door with high-tech access. Sitting in the chair, chained in the chair, is anyone. Okay? Stripped down to just his trousers. Okay? Devoid of any gear or any surprises.
Does he still have his mask on?
The light is dim and everything is cold. No, he doesn't have his mask on. Door opens up to the room, and a man comes walking in stylized and form-fitting green armor. He's black, and his scalp inside of his head is horribly scarred. Terrible burns, denouncing horrible violence from years earlier.
Does the face look familiar?
Carries a very high-tech tablet with him that gives off holographic displays around him all the time. Seems to be wired into his armor that are also producing these holograms. Everything about the man, including the high-tech weapons that hang off his belt, his weapon belt. Okay? It's cutting edge, almost science fiction. Almost. Still within the realm of understanding. He comes in somewhat distracted on his tablet.
Can I help you?
Says, I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
I was a little busy.
Says, well, I could come back later, but I don't know what's going to be left of you then. I think I should take the opportunity now.
Have a seat.
Excellent. He says, you're a strange one to me. He says, we've taken blood samples from you. He says, we've checked even your dental. He says, records. We've looked over every aspect of you, even DNA filing. You just simply don't exist. He puts his tablet down. Who are you?
Could be anyone. Right now I'm going as Legion.
Legion. That's an interesting name. I'm sure it has a connotation in some way. It must mean something. Because you're here by your damn self.
Well, right now I am.
Well, the right now does matter. I know you're trying to look forward to some, he says, brighter future. Perhaps we're even maybe the roles are reversed. He says, but I'm very, very much focused in the now.
So what's now?
So what's now is you helping me. Because the more you help me, the better your situation becomes. Well, I can't guarantee a future where these roles are reversed. Some future is better than no future. Wouldn't you say?
I 100% agree.
I am the Fabricator. Perhaps you've heard of me already.
I have.
Indeed.
Pleasure.
He says, it is shared. He says, your other friends are not as, he says, intriguing. You, sir, are something other. I'm going to figure out how you are, what you are, and more importantly, moving forward, who you are. He says, because once I unravel that puzzle, he says, everything else opens up to me now, doesn't it? Because somebody who has erased themselves so utterly from existence must have a whole lot of things they're hiding from. I'm very interested in those things.
What can I do to help you, sir?
He says, this conversation is very important. Now, not directly to you. Allow me to elaborate. If I do not feel, he says, satisfied by the end of this discourse, one of your allies dies. I'm not going to tell you which. Because I'm sure they all have different varying value to you. I'll leave that in your imagination. And obviously, a man, he says, with your talents and accomplishments, has a very vivid imagination. So I can only imagine what you could. I can only imagine what you could imagine was going to happen to your friends. So, do we understand ourselves up to this point before we continue on?
I do. Can I ask a question before we move forward?
He goes, every good discourse, he says, is a back and forth.
Is Dr. Warren still alive?
Yes. He's no longer Dr. Warren, though, but he says, I do understand the reference. From this point on, perhaps, he said, just for clarity's sake, you might want to call him Dr. Death.
Excuse me?
Okay, he goes, Espanol? Francais.
I understand my changes. Not good.
He goes, I know 4 other languages, but I'm hoping that we can do this in English.
We can.
All
For
right.
the viewers at home, of course.
Well, there are interested parties. He says, besides their motives and their interests, you to me, sir, are something to solve. And that is delicious in itself. He says, so, let us begin. Where are you from?
Winter Gates.
He says, it's a big place. A lot of neighborhoods, a lot of different, he says, backgrounds. He says, I don't think it's Big Russia. I'm pretty sure it's not Little China. You don't strike me as the Excalibur Heights type either. I mean, obviously with the resources you have at your disposal, perhaps, but you seem worldly to me, so I think you're an urban type.
Wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah, but that doesn't really get me warm. I'm still standing out in the middle of a glacier. We're talking 7 million souls here. So,
What if I told you I needed your help to remember who I was?
no, that's even better.
What if I told you I've been through so many identities I've forgotten?
If that was self-inflicted, then you're even more interesting to me than before. If not, the interest level is still adequate, though, because then it makes me wonder who did this to you. And it also puts another level, a layer on that, he says, because then there are other parties out there that are working against society through you. Okay, he says, and all of this, he says, is just part of a glorious game. And I like that. I like it when the game continues, because for you and your friends, it's pretty much over.
I'm well aware of that.
You make any rolls, or you just want to talk to this guy?
I do want to make some rolls.
Okay, I'm just, whenever you want to start playing the game.
Yes.
Because this guy's got all the time in the world. You and your friends don't.
We do not. Let's do some scrutiny.
All right, this is going to be scrutiny and your charisma to deal with this guy.
4.
His enthusiasm is real, but you don't know the motives behind that enthusiasm. Also, you can't rely on it to keep you alive.
Right. I believe that.
Okay, so he's unhinged, but you don't know how. Okay?
Like on tilt?
Like,
Nervous? Okay, got it.
but you don't know how. Everything's in the eyes, and there's those windows are telling you a little bit of a story, but that's all you're getting. Not a whole lot.
That makes sense. I want to ask him, what can I do to help?
So that's why you can just be open with him. He says, like I said, the more satisfied I am at the end of this discourse, the greater your friend's chance of survival. It is a very simple mathematical equation, cause and effect.
I can tell you everything up until about a few years ago. The rest are just
Why are you
words.
doing this? I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand everybody needs a hobby. It keeps us sane. It says, but why are you doing this? I can even understand to a certain degree you don't know who you are, or what you are, or even why you are. But you made a choice at some point, consciously, to do this. Why?
We all go a little crazy off the deep end.
I mean,
I'm sure you can appreciate that.
if my next door neighbors were the YBI, I'd probably move. I wouldn't set fire to their barbecue.
But yet you didn't move. You joined them.
But you don't know anything about me. This is about you.
That's fair. There was a problem, a puzzle. It needed to be assembled.
Well, look at how you assembled it. Look at where you are right now.
Well, yeah.
Is this where you wanted to be?
Oh, this is all part of the plan, can't you see? This is exactly where I wanted to be. Of course it's not what we wanted.
So then why didn't you walk away? You had several opportunities.
Drive.
Can I make a speculation you confirm or deny? Says? Pride.
Pride.
You see, I don't let that get in the way of things. I've wanted revenge against my brother for a very long time, years. And there's been many times where I could have had it. I jumped the gun once. I missed the mark. And it was very impersonal. I realized that while it did weaken him, shake him, make him less, it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't enough. What I want from him, he says, is agony on such a time scale that most people can't comprehend it. So, I'm denying myself because of my earnestness and my pride. You let pride get in the way, didn't you? You thought you could handle this situation with what you had at hand. You didn't take stock of the situation properly.
There were a bunch of resources we didn't utilize.
Who's helping you with those resources?
No one.
Give me a roll. This is your deception and your charisma.
It is. That will be 7.
Okay, so he narrows his eyes. Okay. Now, I get that not everybody in your group could provide the same level.
Wow.
Not everybody brought the same thing to the table.
You blew up her shop.
He goes, what I can't really believe is when you discovered our presence that you all just decided to ignore it. Now that was tricky, because we thought there's a reason why it took us a certain measure of time to act, because we thought it was a trap, because you knew that we had infiltrated you, we knew that we had compromised you, and yet nobody acted as if anything had happened. It let off a lot of warning bells to us until we realized.
So you
Would
realize
you
that we're
believe I was
incompetent.
out of town?
I have all the records. I know you weren't there. But it was, when I say you, it's the road. I mean your team.
Oh, I know.
So it was very, very confusing for a certain time to us until we realized that there was two things that were motivating the situation. Pride or absolute incompetence.
If I could put my hand up.
You just do the chains? I see. So this must be very disappointing to you.
A little bit.
Who would you blame? If you couldn't blame yourself, who would you blame?
The easy answer,
Yes.
Dr. Warren.
It's Warren. Well, Dr. Warren has been quite a
Quite a
foil.
How many times he's let randoms in and no security checks, tells everybody everything. I hope you don't have any Mormons coming to your front door, because he'll just tell you everything.
Don't worry. We have Dr. Warren in check. Perhaps you should have built in some fail safes. We did.
We didn't want to tie a bomb to him.
Whose fault is that now? Oh, morality. Yes, of course. He says on that note, the Dr. Death note. He reaches into one of his pouches off his weapon belt and he pulls out a test tube, a vial of a deep red, almost black, syrupy-like fluid.
Is this the modified serum?
This is the serum neutralizer.
Come again?
Well, I want to explain. He just puts it down on the table. He says, that, he says, is a universal neutralizer for the serum in anybody's system.
So in theory, anybody who's taking the serum, that would counteract.
And, he says, also free them of its ongoing needed effects.
And free them, or vice. Both or single?
Both.
So those who needed it to stay alive would instantly die.
No, they wouldn't need it anymore.
Can I scrutinize that?
Sure can. He says, unfortunately, he says, where you were unable to motivate or, he says, dedicate Dr. Death to a certain degree, we've actually been able to get results from him.
Four again.
He's not lying. Well, he's not lying. I did get a 6. Say stop. It's good because this is his weak area and it's your like king area and it's still close.
And it's still going.
Right. So he says it's all about leverage. And I understand that there was a certain level of trust that you had between each other. But I mean, how can you really trust somebody that you're hiding your face from? So, in any event, we don't use the buddy system here. Instead, we have things that Dr. Warren needs or desperately wants to make sure never comes to light day. By doing that and holding that in front of him, he says the proverbial carrot. Oh, results.
Can I assume everybody else is in a room like this?
No, you can't. That would be a horrible assumption. There could be people in a much worse situation than you are. Anyway, I thought you'd be interested in this.
I am.
Well, we know. It's in your blood.
Of course. Two blood samples.
Yes. You have to understand, he says, how much you've cost. It's been a great expenditure dealing with the mask problem in Lincoln Gates. And now that it's wrapping up, he says, the receipts are starting to come in. He says, the butcher's bill and so on. And he says, in that regard, he says, now people want a little bit of payoff. They want their dividends. They want to turn some kind of profit. I've been put in the, he says, unenviable position of trying to find a way to do that.
So you just want to guinea pig us? Why are we still alive?
Good question. He says there are still loose ends. Like I just told you, there's a concern. Who's pulling your strings?
I acted on my own.
You say that, and yet you can't remember so much of your life. It's not good enough. He says, I don't need a Manchurian candidate. I need answers.
I wish I could help you further.
He says, I wish I could help you further. He's holding the test tube. He says, because he says the withdrawal is going to be unpleasant.
I know.
No, you don't. Because you've never experienced anything like it before. Because there's never been anything like it before. But he says, at least It'll be recorded for future endeavors. All of it.
So, you want answers? I can't give them to you.
You can. You won't. Right now. But you might, when I show you what I've done to your friend when you are unable to give me a satisfactory discourse.
What do you mean? I thought this was fairly satisfactory.
No, that's your estimation, not mine. He says, who helped you? And when I say you, I mean the royal you. Who in Lincoln Gates helped you? Who?
I told you. I acted on my own.
I know that's a lie. He says, I just have to go to he says, another part of this base to find that that's not true. You're not a lone man. You're not a lone wolf.
Before I started this, Predator and I were close friends. We were helping each other.
Are you in love with Becky Robbins?
No.
Are you in love with Becky Robbins?
No.
She's not related to you, is she?
No. We were work colleagues. She didn't even know.
Well, this goes against human nature. Now I simply can't understand. This is beyond a sense of duty, he says. Because you have decided, he says, in your crusade, to throw it all away. He says, all of it. The ability to help 7 million other people from, he says, the depredations, he says, of the Serpent Society. You've decided to say, I erase all of that for one woman. And this woman means nothing to you?
It wasn't her.
Where's Becky Robbins?
I don't know. It was her dead husband I was trying to help.
He says,
But you already know them.
stands up. When it happens tomorrow, and you're a raving lunatic in the throes of withdrawal, I'm going to force you to watch what we've done to your friend today because of your answers. And we'll revisit this. Okay? I just need to know that you understand my words. You don't have to be okay with this. I assume you're not. Last chance, where's Becky Robbins?
I don't know.
Who
she
does?
hides from us.
Who does know?
Now I gotta think of who she was last in contact with.
I know, you know who. He's getting up. Tomorrow? He's getting up and goes, it's okay. We'll revisit this tomorrow.
You gotta give me some time. I can't remember who she was last in contact with.
Sorry.
I'll tell you.
No, you will. He's going out the door. Bro, I want you to picture that all four arms are chained.
Oh, beautiful, bro.
Okay, you're hanging face down. Okay, inches away from a pool of water that you're just slightly submerged. If you turn your face at all, you'll drown. And that's where you're at. You have to keep your head turned to the side. And if chains are obviously industrial chains, the kind they use on like construction vehicles. So comfy. It's not. You're completely naked. The only light is a light that's coming from underneath the pool that you're chained in/above. It's cold. Really cold. Your wounds have not been seen to.
Just whatever Zeus did.
Oh, God. Door opens up. And I won't describe the Fabricator again. We know what he looks like. And he comes in. He's standing over you. Somebody brings him a chair. You can just see from your vantage point combat boots and gray fatigues. Fold-out chair they put down, and he sits down in it. Says, oh, this is comfortable, thank you. He crosses his legs. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. I'd like to ask you a few questions. Now, I know You have every reason in your mind to not answer these questions. I take it that you're a very strong-willed man, very determined. You must have been to do everything that you've done up to this point. I see that. I'm not blind to that fact. But you have to be open to some certain facts as well. Please don't be blind to them. This isn't just simply about you and your determination or your resolve. You have to understand that all your friends are still alive. You have to also understand that they have no chance to escape. When you come to those facts and you accept them as truth, we can move on from here. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yuma, do you understand what I'm saying to you?
He says that name while looking dead in the eye, as best as I can.
Yep.
Ask your questions.
Excellent. He says, now, depending on how this goes, I'm going to measure the satisfaction, he says, of our discourse. He says, if you are as blunt and as forthcoming as you've been up to this point, he says, I think that we can understand each other. If I find that you're being evasive, if I find that you are, well, being belligerent, then your friends are going to die. Now, I'll let you know that one will perish. I'm not going to tell you which. He says, do you understand that they will die? Simple yes. It's fine. You understand that they will die given what you say right now.
I understand.
Perfect. Somebody told me that this was going to be difficult. All right, let's start things off. I'm going to be very, very straight with you then. I take it that you're a man that obviously has other things on your mind, like breathing. Where's Becky Robbins?
I haven't seen or heard from her since the fall of the 4chans.
So you weren't the brains of the operation. You were being kept in the dark. They didn't respect you enough to keep you in the loop. Maybe they thought that you were a loose end.
I felt there was more important things.
Of course. I'm digressing anyway. He says, interactions between you and your allies, he says, not important. Whether they trusted you or thought you competent, it's not important. Who do you know that could know where Becky Robbins is?
Could be anyone.
I understand that English isn't your first language, but it's all that you and I share, friend.
The only people I even knew who had ties to her were the Predator and anyone.
Predator and anyone. Sure you didn't put that on them?
Haven't you already?
Oh no. Not even close. I was giving you a chance to, he says, finger somebody outside of your group. A loose end outside of this whole situation. I can understand. Lion, I really do. You are willing to die in the most horrible fashion I could devise. The entire Serpent Society could devise. But are you willing to have that happen to someone else? Because of your pride? Your honor? It will happen, and you'll be subjected to it. You'll be forced to bear witness to your failings and what happens to them because of it. This is the time for you to make amends. Make it better for them. Look at everything they risked and suffered through with you. You failed them. This is a result of your failure. Now be the honorable warrior and tell me who out there knows where Becky Robbins is.
You're beyond.
I understand that your perception, he says, the ability of perception here is difficult for you given, well, the situation you're in. He says, but here, let me, he says, explain it to you a little bit better then. He says, 1/5 of an inch. You hear hydraulic machines all around you in 4 different locations. They begin to hiss and clank, and you go down 1/5 of an inch. You start sputtering water. Everything goes tense, so you don't go into the water any deeper, and you don't know how long you can maintain this. He says, original position. And you're pulled out of the water with hydraulic clanks and hisses. Yuma, speak while you still have the chance. Save lives.
And yeah, it's gonna be fun, but I'll say the first name that comes to
Give me a roll of deception.
I got 3.
Bobby Wong. Alright. Well, he says, not the easiest answer. He says, but definitely an answer. Here. Let me show you something. He shows you the vial with the thick, deep red liquid. Shakes it a bit. Here it is. You know what this is? This is Dr. Death's Dr. Warren to you, but let's try to keep up with current events. Come on, Yuma. He says,
I widen a little bit when I hear Dr.
yeah, he goes, this is the newest refinement, he says, of his serum. He says it's a complete neutralizer to everything that's happened before. It would free you of its dependence, which you're not going to be getting, he says, unless you continue to answer my questions.
So he's still alive.
Oh, yes. He's working quite diligently. I mean, look at the results. He's becoming able to come up with a universal neutralizer. One that doesn't have to be tailored to each individual, he says, subject, but is good across a vast spectrum, yourself included.
So he's working for you. You broke him.
Broke him?
Broke his will.
No, Yuma, that's what we're doing to you. No. Dr. Death is working with us, not for us.
I know a little bit of that one.
Yep. So he says, now, your situation's a little different, he says, than, say, Legion's. You need the serum or you die. So, I'm going to be making sure that you get a steady supply of serum every day. I don't need to see what withdrawal does to you. I already know. But your allies, your friends? Well, that's a whole different kind of story. I'm very interested in seeing the effects of withdrawal on them. Who out there helped you and the others? Who supplied you? Who aided you? Vehicles, connections, weaponry, contacts, allies. Who? And I know it just couldn't simply be Bobby Wong. I mean, he's resourceful, but... You might try to stay with me. I know breathing is difficult. I know it is. Direct questions, direct answers. I thought we had an understanding.
Most we stole.
Most, but not all. I know there's been people that have helped you. He says the Simmons family, for one example.
Yes.
We already know that, though. We're talking about others now. Who's that?
Marla.
Marla.
She said she helped us.
Wow. You've been undermined since day one, really. You're gonna pick your allies better, friend. Alright. Now, before you get too deep into regret and self-loathing, he says, who besides Marla Chen? I know there's others. We're already looking into Marla.
That's all I know.
Really? Are you sure? Give me your roll deception.
Another 3.
He goes, I know you know more. So I'm going to leave you with some things to think about. You wonder who's going to die because of your deception. Or 1/5 of an inch. Folds up the chair and he's leaving with it. Jason!
I'm dead!
I see how stubborn you are now.
Alright, Jay. You're in an electric chair.
Oh, he gets it easy. Hey, a water torture, and he just gets flipped by his dead.
Remember who hates you, though. Right?
Bro, just wait. Just wait to see what I get.
Oh!
It's funny, it's just a room with just one chair.
You're in the middle. You're in a total bunker-like room. One access door. You're sitting in an electric chair. Have you tested the chair yet?
See if I can break out?
Yeah.
We'll say I probably did test after I came to.
Okay, well, give me a soak roll.
1.
Okay, well, you've been knocked out unconscious for your last try, and you're just slowly starting to come to now.
Yep.
Everything smells like burnt hair and flesh. Everything is tingling. Your muscles twitch on their own accord. Everything hurts. Thousands of bolts have been put through your body. Okay, you lift up your head. You see sitting in front of you, you can see the Fabricator, as already described. He's going over different holographic readouts on his tablet. Oh, good morning.
Morning, sunshine.
So he says, Predator, correct?
Yeah.
He reaches into his pouch and he holds up a simple device that looks like just a red buzzer. You know what this is? Sunshine?
Is that call for the nurse?
Make the soak roll.
About 3 successes this time.
Take a wound. So after the screaming is over, says, I'll let your scrambled brains have a chance to catch up. Do you know where you are now?
Where? No.
Says, fair enough. Suffice to say, he says, any ideas that you ever had, he says, of some kind of Christian hell, you're good to go with that. He says, You fought the good fight, and you lost. And this is the ramifications of it.
Looks like it is.
Problem is, it's not just about you. And I get that you're the kind of guy that's willing to go down with the ship. He says, drastically so even. Even in the face, he says, of utter defeat and ultimate destruction, you're still willing to have a smile, he says, and a joke on your lips.
I'm already on borrowed time.
He says, but it's not about you. You see, you're a very self-centered man then. And that's terrible. He goes, what about, he says, the Simmons family? What about Marla? And what about, he says, Becky Robbins? Your wife. Oh, I have your attention now. That's much better than this ever. Puts it away. I want to make a deal with you. And I guarantee I will live up to my end of this deal. You and your friends don't have a really good track record in that area, though, do you?
Fair enough.
But even with the horrible deal-making history that you and your friends have, out of everybody, Dr. Death, you might know him as Dr. Warren, has told me that you were the man to speak to. Because if anybody could get to a reasonable, he says, discourse, it would be you. And you want to know why he said it's you?
That I'm very curious about.
Right. Because of your wife. Everybody else is doing this because they want to make Lincoln Gates great again. He says, clean up the streets. Fight back against the shadow forces that are controlling things. Cut the strings of the puppet masters, and so on and so forth. I could just even it's simple. I just want the area around my pawn shop to be nicer. He says, but you! Oh, it's entirely too personal with you, isn't it?
So, Dr. Warren is still alive.
Everybody keeps asking me that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe nobody believes me. Okay, so he brings up a holographic display. Doctor! See, moving, lumbering into the picture is a new, reinvigorated, and redesigned Dr. Warren. Yes, I am here, Fabricator. Say hello to one of your old allies. Predator, it would be in your best interest to cooperate.
Well, I guess it's a good idea that, or I should say, a good opinion of mine that I didn't have a high value towards you, so you, Dr. Warren, can go suck it. I'll deal with the Fabricator.
Says unneeded. Is that all, Fabricator? Yes, I just wanted to verify your existence. You keep having a hard time with it. Okay, closes the holographic display. How good was that?
Just gets the Anton. He's alive?
Okay. Who? Alright.
So, toward the so I guess you got him to reveal his true colors then.
Oh, those colors were always there.
I know. I
Wow.
could see it from just the mannerisms of the way he was talking.
He says, and yet, how long did you work with him for?
I didn't trust him.
So how long were you going to wait for him to put the knife in your back before you did so? Oh, wait, too long.
My allies needed him.
Oh, I see. So it's their fault. I'll let Human know that. I'll let him know what you think about his failures. Oh, how good is he?
Still has more honor than you can ever know.
He does. He will have more honor than I'll ever know because I don't subscribe to honor. No. My friend, I'm all about vengeance. He can have all the honor. I will have all the vengeance. He says, and mark my words, my bank in that is extensive. Nonetheless, I digress.
A lot better than undress.
There it is. Oh. Where's Becky Robbins?
If I knew where Becky was, do you think I would have put myself in such horrible positions?
I think that you would absolutely be in this situation if you knew where Becky Robbins was. I think you would do everything in your power, including die horribly at the hands of your enemies to make sure that nothing happened to your wife. That doesn't exclude the fact that you know where she is. Where is Becky Robbins?
Last time I came into even close proximity to Becky, I ran from her.
Okay. Well, I said I had a deal, so let me put it on the table so you can obviously mull it over in your head before you sarcastically discard it. Listen, hero. Are you willing to bank the farm that we won't find her after you're dead and gone?
I can't.
Think about it before you answer. Think. Now, when, not if, we do find her, what you do here right now will determine how that goes. I'm in a position to make sure that Becky Robbins doesn't die horribly, doesn't die at all, doesn't suffer. I can guarantee that to you. I can promise that to you. I cannot promise your friends. I cannot promise anything else that's tied to this situation, but that I can. All we need to do is make sure that she doesn't have a connection to the society. We're busy severing all of that, but we need to have her for a time to make sure all those are severed. And then I promise you, she won't be harmed, and she will be released into another part of the world to live a life, away, far away from Lincoln Gates.
You the head of the society?
He says, I'm high enough to guarantee that.
A lot of people that would be after her.
Well, there are. She's a loose end that people simply can't suffer. But a loose end doesn't necessarily have to be terminated. It can be neatly tied off. I'm willing to offer that to you. To take the time and the effort, and it's going to be some, to simply tie that into a beautiful little bow to make sure it doesn't go anywhere and leave it. Where he says, my allies would like to see it burned away. And that's what will happen to her. Mark my words.
Obviously, there's no surprise, but obviously I love Becky with all of my heart. From the bottom, even further.
I'm hoping. That's what we're having this discourse for in the first place. I'm not coming here, she said, was simply for your verbal abuse.
I would die over and over for her.
What's that for?
Spend it.
What's it for, though?
J roll, scrutiny roll.
Yes. Thank you. Since you were this good.
Yeah. I did it earlier.
And charisma. Okay, what's going on?
One success.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Perhaps you've been electrocuted multiple times. You're pretty rattled, scrambled right now.
Could be.
Do you want to die after being horribly tortured, and the only thing that you know is that she's still in danger out there? You'll die with that as the last thought. Like, not for me, he says. It's something that I wouldn't abide.
If there was more I could do,
You can.
unfortunately for the information that you request, I don't have. I would die over and over again, have you revive me over and over again, suffer the worst fates ever if it means that she could live. But I don't have what you're asking me. You're asking me to do the impossible.
Who does know where she is?
I couldn't say.
You have no concept of who could know.
She's
None.
underground hiding.
I'm aware of that.
Before I came, I was gone from the city for 2 years, and I never made contact with her when I returned. Who she could possibly have any sort of contact with, I don't know.
Do you want to save her life?
Yes, I do.
Would you mind if I put that to the test?
For Becky, I would do anything.
It's not a lot. Just a recording.
I will.
Good. Okay. So he leaves his tablet. And he stands beside you. He goes, "This is your husband." Tablet's recording the whole thing. He's still alive. Against every odd, he says, your husband, your true love, is still alive. You don't know me. All you need to know is that I'm responsible for his continued existence. Now, he's been exceedingly brave. He's fought against insurmountable odds. He stood against enemies that you couldn't even begin to dream of. All, he says, to protect you. All I want to know, Miss Robbins, is what you'd be willing to do for him. Speak to her. Go on. Tell her that she can trust that she won't be harmed. Come on, Jason. Say the words. You believe them.
I believe everything I do is for her, including her to keep away from you.
Grabs your face. Remember when you die. Remember when you die. You will never know what happened to her. Never.
I'll know that she's safe.
You won't know that. You won't know. He says, the coils of the Serpent Society are everywhere, and it is only a matter of time. It's not an if, it's a when. And you just made sure that when it happens, it is going to be worse than anything you could dream of. Her last moments, as long as they're going to be, will be everything that you have nightmares about.
I spit in his face.
I will also let Human know what you think about him. Snatches up his tablet. Disgusting! Oh! Daniel, you are locked in a bank vault. Do you know what a bank vault is? Are you aware of what a bank vault is?
Near impenetrable.
There is, at the top, a 6-inch long by 2-inch wide air vent. There is also an eye slot, okay? A vision slot. That can't be opened from this side. Okay? You felt all of this over the last several hours with your hands because you can't see, it's utterly dark. It hasn't been long enough for you to get a recovery yet.
Okay.
Suddenly you hear some muffled noises from the other side of the eye slot in the door of the vault. They quiet down, and then suddenly the eye slot opens. Slabs, is it? I like creative names. Do you want to hear mine?
What's yours?
The Fabricator.
You're the one locking me up in here?
I am indeed responsible for you being incarcerated in such a way. Do you understand the words I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I take it that you are, he says, somebody who doesn't like the idea of being locked away in a prison like this for the rest of your life.
Can't say I do. I'm not hurting other people.
Well, he says, I can appreciate that you don't want to, but he says there was certain obligations that you have with the YBI that have been broken. And a broken deal is a terrible thing. I believe the YBI had promised to provide and protect your mother.
How many people was I hurting? How many other sons I was hurting?
Well, I understand that. I can see you. It's a math. He says, I can appreciate the whole hard, cold logic in that. Slabs, your mother is only one life, and you were just measuring that value, one, against everything else.
I was hoping to protect her.
Oh, unfortunately, you can't do all of that. It wasn't part of the formula. The formula was that you do what the YBI says, and then your mother prospers. There was a brackets in there.
I knew.
He goes, and that part of the formula, he says, isn't very good because if you don't live up to your end of the equation, the formula turns on your mother. I suppose you'd like to know where she is.
Tell me.
What was that?
Tell me.
I could. I want to. He says, but I need some help, though. Will you help me?
What?
Now, we're fairly certain you haven't known the Vigilantes very long. The Masks. Right? When did you meet them? Tell me honestly.
In that warehouse.
Okay.
I figured that's where they're hiding. That's where I like to hide.
Oh. Knowing your environment is important. He says very good tactics, he says. Now, so you just met them. What made you decide to side with them over the YBI, the people that you had made promises to? What did they say to you? It's important that you remember, Slabs.
I didn't go to them as YBI. I went to them as Slabs. Danton.
Danton. Would you like me to call you Danton instead of Slabs?
Doesn't matter now.
Okay, well, what would you prefer?
Danton.
Danton. You can still call me Fabricator. Now, Danton, they must have told you something to reassure you that it was the right choice. What did they say to you? You couldn't possibly have just decided to betray the YBI and risk your mother's life, he says, on a whim. There must have been something in the works. A deal. You know how deals work on the streets, right?
I was going to talk to them about a deal, actually. I was going to try to get them to help me get my mother out of the bowels, but then the other YBI showed up.
Did any of them say that they were going to help your mother?
I got the sense that they would have helped.
But you don't know for certain. Would it hurt you to know that they haven't helped your mother?
I don't know if they could. I don't know where they are now. I don't know if I'm the only one here. They knew about her though, but they didn't know where she was.
The YBI knows where she is.
I know, and that's the worst.
Did any of them talk? I'm going to ask you if any of them ever said anything about certain things. If anything comes to mind, you let me know, okay? Because it's important to help your mother now. Did they ever say anything about Becky Robbins?
She's that one, though. Isn't she that woman that kept doing
What
the
did
charity
they
thing?
say about her?
They said things about her? I don't think they said anything about her. I'm sorry.
Zeus, are you there? Yo. What's this about? I just didn't know that you're in position. Yeah, I'm outside the hag's house. What's the address that you're at again? 707. He says Pitt Street. That's your address.
I know. I didn't think that it wasn't.
Went to the wrong house.
Thank you for that information.
Did they say anything about Becky Robbins? There was another girl there.
Yes, there was. You know her name?
I think it was Megan.
Megan, that's right. But don't worry, we're questioning Megan.
Oh,
She's being helpful. It's amazing. It's amazing how conversations open when you show somebody their legs, not attached to the body anymore. Okay,
I just thinking, did they say anything? I'm trying to think now.
Alright, so you're not certain that they said anything about Becky Robbins.
No.
Alright? Did they say anything about anybody else that could help them? I mean, people showed up to help, right? But who else? Was there anywhere they were going to go after they fought the YBI? Where were they going to go? What were they going to do? Danton, help me help your mother. Zeus? Yo, what are you doing right now? You hear a sound of wooden crashing and your mother screaming, and then the conversation goes cold. Ooh, that doesn't sound pleasant.
I was just going there to talk to them. I was going to convince them to come save my mother.
Save your mother? I guess that's in your hands now, Danton.
That's what they're going to be doing next. I don't...
No, they're not. They're not saving her. Zeus is there right now. He's the last person you want there. Who helped them? Where were they going to go when they beat the YBI? Danton, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They're
I really wanted to help your mother.
They're going to the docks.
The where?
The docks. I'm trying to... I'm trying to...
What docks? We live in Lincoln Gates.
I think they said something about Watercrest.
The Watercrest. Give me a roll of deception and charisma.
I got 5.
Okay.
He's more desperate.
She will look into it. Says, I'll make a call. Hopefully I'll get through to Zeus in time. I mean, I hope he hasn't doing anything too horrible to your mother yet. I'll come back with more questions, though. You think of more answers in the meantime. Skunk! Michael!
Yeah.
You're on a chair, standing on it, on your tippy toes, because you have a noose around your neck.
Yep, sounds about right.
You're chained from head to toe. At the end, also on the chair, is a heavy weight that's chained to the bottom of your feet. The chair is rickety. You're in the center of a bunker-like room. There's a buzzer noise, and the door opens up, and you see your brother walks in, carrying your armor and all your gadgets over his shoulder. Tosses aside disdainfully, wipes his shoulder off.
I let out a sigh and say, sometimes I hate being right.
If only you were right more often, maybe you wouldn't be here.
I guess you'd call it permanent denial.
You don't get to do this. You shut up and you take it. You take it like a bitch. You are a fucking pillow-biting bottom bitch right now. I beat you. I beat you and your friends. Look at you, helpless. Almost dead. Not knowing where your friends are or even if they're alive.
You beat us?
I beat you.
No. You got other people to do it for you.
She says, oh, and this endeavor has been entirely your own? Hide behind a samurai much? No, I played the game better than you. You are the reason I am like this. You are. You caused everything. Everything I lost. It always had to be some kind of competition, didn't it? Always between you and me. And you had to make sure that you won. Oh, I know. You always tried to do the right thing, but somehow there was always some kind of angle. There's no way that you could have done what you've done without some kind of angle. You cheated, and yet you made everybody just think it was natural and you were the golden boy.
I can't help it. You can never beat me at my best.
Yet, here we are, and I have.
You only got me when I had a half-broken suit of armor. And less than half the shit I normally carry.
That? You're putting your, he says, faith in that.
I always have.
How's it paying off for you?
It's kept me alive so far.
He comes over to the chair and he kind of jostles one of the legs. Aren't you concerned about your friends? That's right. Probably not. You don't care about anything, do you? Except looking like you're winning. I don't think you understand or fully appreciate how much I hate you. You have underestimated that, and it is costing you, and you don't even want to admit it. Your brother hates you so much, he's going to destroy your world and everyone in it. What are you going to say to that?
I'm sorry.
For what?
For not getting here sooner.
Bullshit! Admit that you cheated. Admit that everything was a lie. Admit it. Admit that you did whatever you could to undermine me and make our father look favorably at you. Admit it.
Dad was an ass.
I don't need to be reminded. I'm asking for a confession. Keep up.
When I left Lincoln Gates to go to school. Actually, no. After school. One of the first things I did, check the armor. It's not my initials in there. I didn't make it for me.
If you hadn't been so determined to make me look bad, I wouldn't have had to resort to this. I'd be whole. And no suit of armor is going to change that.
I always wanted to keep you safe.
Shakes his head.
Whatever competitions Dad made us participate in,
You participated, and you made sure you won every time.
but I always made sure to teach you everything I could.
The only thing you taught me was that you like to rub my face in it. The only person who did it more was our father. I've talked to your friends. He walks away from the chair before he just can't help himself and kicks the legs out, and then he's like, "Why did I do that? He needs to suffer more." Yes. So he walks away from the chair. I've talked to them all, to varying degrees. He says some have been quite cognitive, he says, in their situation. Others a little less so. Their obvious obsessive compulsiveness has diluted the situation to them. They don't really realize where they are yet. But I did make a promise to them that one of them would die today if I wasn't satisfied with their answers. And to be completely frank with you, I'm not satisfied. I don't know where Becky Robbins is. Tell me where Becky Robbins is and save one of your friends. He has his back turned to you. He won't even face you.
I haven't seen Becky since before she was kidnapped the first time.
Since you're giving me an answer like that, then you can give me one more. Which one of them dies? If you don't give me an answer, I will kill two of them of my choice. He turns around. Give me an answer! Or would you like to recount your original bullshit and tell me where Robbins is?
Fred Robin.
What does she mean to you?
She gave me a chance to help the people on the street.
Oh, that's just pathetic. Okay.
I'll tell you a different answer that I lied to you before. When we first met, you asked me why I was doing this.
Yes.
I didn't come back to Lincoln Gates for some heroic aspirations. These streets took my brother from me. I came back to straighten that out.
He says, your sick desire to make me look pathetic in our father's eyes is what cost you your brother. It made me do drastic, terrible things to try to impress him. And now look at me.
The only one of them that needs to die today is me. I shouldn't have left you alone.
You are going to be the last to die, so that isn't on the table. I mean the dead last. After we found Robbins and everyone else that's helped you, after all of them have suffered, after every single one of them has been tortured in front of you until absolute agonizing death, after you realize you have failed completely and utterly, after you have been broken to the point where you can't even whimper, that's when I'll kill you. And not a moment before. But you can save one of your friends' lives. Because I thought you were a hero, Industry. Save one of their lives. Save a life. Be a hero. Which one dies? Remember, if you don't give me an answer, then you just killed two of them.
Sorry. Can you make a scrutiny roll?
Yep. He's gonna kill them all. He's mad. He's out of his mind. He's not even predictable on any level, man. You don't even know if giving him what he wants will save your friend's life. But you know that he could kill them all in this moment. He looks at you with an insane light in his eyes. He says, please say Predator. Oh, I want to kill him so badly. I mean, not like I want to kill you. That's he goes, that's apples and oranges. Okay, he goes, but you have no idea. Just say his name. You'd be doing us both a favor.
I'm gonna say the Predator.
Yes! Yes! Yep! Of course it is. Do you know why this is doubly good? Because I get to show it to Becky Robbins when we get her. Serpent Society appreciate your choice. Brother! He's walking out. Anything you want me to tell Predator when I'm executing him? And he gets to know it was you that made the decision? Anything in the last words to him? I'm sorry. I had to make a choice.
You come back once, you can do it again.
If you got nothing, I'll come up with something.
If it comes to that, tell him I'm sorry.
I will let him know how sorry you are. How pathetic you are.
I will!
Door closes. You fell asleep again. Recover. You get a recovery room. You need one. How many you got?
I got 5.
So you get healed 2. And you get 1 automatic. Because it's heroic,
Yeah.
right? How do you feel about that, Luke?
I'm full now. I don't need to heal myself.
So you wake up from your rest. Okay. So, you're still where you were, in that dark room that has all the trappings of old Chinese traditional culture.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole room smells like it's thick with incense. It's embedded itself into the very walls. It's been used so much here. Remember all the strange reagents and spices and everything else on the rack-covered walls. There's cubbies of all sorts with all kinds of things going on. Okay, simple, old-style tables and chairs and stuff like that dot the room. And there's just a few candles here and there that are giving weak illumination to different areas of this very dim, shadowy, gloomy room. Okay, ceiling's low, everything creaks.
So
You're a very simple cot with just some very simple linens. It's a wooden cot. You sit up. You're feeling a lot better though.
am I able to just do a stealth roll to actively be trying to hide my presence if I start moving?
So you don't want anybody to hear you.
Yeah.
Yep. Give me a stealth and dex roll.
I got 7.
Okay, Luke. Get up out of the bed carefully and quietly, making no noise, less than a mouse. Looking over the room, you don't see your belongings anywhere. You're just in your jeans, bloody and torn from the combat. There's a bullet hole. Okay. What now?
Well, I'm going mad at this. Where is that mask I saw?
Okay, it's not there. It's been taken.
Am I able to take a second to see if I hear anyone else here?
Sure,
Or
you can do
nearby?
a perception and wisdom roll.
I only got 3.
You don't hear anything. Okay? And it's too dark to really see a whole lot that's going on. You wouldn't know in the darkest corners and shadows of this room if there's like electronic devices or anything. What do you want to do?
How many doorways are there in and out of here?
Okay, so you see a pair of wooden slippers on the floor? Guarding your bare feet.
I'm gonna make do create less sound. I'll just
Put them on?
Yeah.
Okay, you got some wooden slippers on. Okay. Now what?
I want to start making my way. Are there any windows in this room?
Okay, not that you can see of. There's a single door out. Okay? Your perception was good enough to know that you do hear the sounds of linking gates on the other side of that door. Faint, but you hear the outside linking gates. Traffic, noise like that you would expect.
Or slowly. I'm still watching, make my way towards the.
As you're making the way over to the door, carefully and quietly, moving through the shadows and the gloom, you see the edges of the door flare with a ghostly green. Just for a moment as you approach it, you step back and it dies away.
Can I make a lore roll? What would be the roll?
This is going to be your lore and your wisdom.
I got 4.
Okay, Luke. It's an alarm and summoning.
Oh.
So what happens, it will detect a presence that has anything to do with the door, and it will summon something into being. Probably to protect the door. You didn't roll well enough to know what, but you're having a bad feeling.
It's probably nothing good.
Alright. What else would you like to do?
Are there any other, am I able to, I guess, make a roll, see if I know of a way of dispelling it, in a way?
Yeah, you could. Or you could try divination.
I'm not good at divination, so I have -3.
You want to talk for advice?
Yes.
You try to contact Marla.
It's true. Let me put out contact. Wait, are there any materials in here I could use?
There we go. Give me an investigation. Right?
Yeah.
Give me an investigation roll. Investigation and wisdom.
I got 4.
Equivalent of, 3.
Oh, shit.
You start grabbing some black Chinese sorcery stuff. Yes? That's difficulty 1, man.
I got it with 4.
Okay. All right. So you reach out, focusing on everything that's positive and that you admire and, well, maybe wouldn't say openly, but love about Marla. You focus on her and her spirit and her soul and your connection to her. And she's standing right in front of you. William? Bill, what are you doing?
Something has gone wrong with the whole thing. And
She like reaches for you, but there's a distance
Yeah.
between you. Okay, she goes, where are you?
I've been taken by Lady Chow.
Lady Chow.
I
Lady Chow. She goes, it's from my nightmares.
was sadly the nightmare has become true.
What
I
can I do?
I need you to help me decipher something.
All right, describe it to me in as much detail as you can.
I describe it.
Okay. Okay, so she's like, it's going to summon a demon.
Do you know of any way of dispelling it?
Something holy has to be put onto the door first. She says something righteous, something good, something that is pure, something that is love. That's all I've got. Look, you can't get involved with whoever this Lady Chow is. She's dangerous.
I have to though. She's the reason you're missing time.
Wait, what? And she fades.
Yeah, it's kind of like those motherfuckers. Now, I need something holy, something pure of love. Well, I'm gonna look to see if I can find my stuff.
No, find it in this room.
The only thing I could think of. Do I have any anything in my pockets, or I'm literally just pants?
Just, you got your wooden slippers.
They're nice.
They are. As long as there's no splinters, you're good.
Wooden slippers? What are you, Dutch?
Kind of.
There's only two people I hate in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures.
And Dutch.
Everybody agrees with you, bro. The
Oh,
world.
it's major.
Look.
Would I know if could I have the ability to summon like a picture of Marla? To use it
Yeah,
as
from your wallet?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wanna
That's going to be a creation.
okay.
So it's I believe it's a conjure.
Yeah.
There's lots of supplies. You're going to use that?
Yeah.
So your difficulty 1 again.
Yeah, I got it with 3.
You are so strongly tied to it. You're good. What did you say it was 1d6 times?
2 minutes.
Oh boy. Okay. It's in your hand. Okay? So it's like this. You go up to one of the candles. You run your hand over it 3 times. After the 3rd time, you flip your palm, and it's in your hand.
It's kind of like I look at the picture, the one tear, but that I have to do.
Yeah. So it's you and her getting each other in a headlock.
Yeah.
You're at the park.
I'm like, Marla, this is for you. And I kind of like, I don't know if I don't know what to, I'm trying to put it.
Okay, let's see if you believe in your love enough.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be your charisma and your willpower. What do we got?
I got 6.
Walking up to the door, Luke. You're going to just place it against the door?
Yeah.
Okay, as you're getting closer to it, the edges of it begin to burn with that ghostly light.
As I'm walking,
Eerie and green, and it begins to get stronger and more intense.
I'm just thinking of Marla.
It starts to get so intense it's hard to see it. You put the picture of her against the door. And it's out.
Thank you, Marla.
Okay, you hear from the far corner of the room, the darkest corner, a cruel, evil chuckle. But nothing happens.
The chuckle also says you got this.
Picture disappears.
Even though I want to deal with that, I need to get out. And if the door reactivates, I'm stuck in here again.
Okay, you open it up?
Yeah.
Okay, look. Opens up into what is a rooftop, but not quite a rooftop. It's a roof access room with no door. And a few stairs that lead down to the rooftop itself. Okay? There's a table with all your belongings on it. Okay? It's an old kitchen-style table. Okay? Like from the 70s. Horrible looking flowers and stuff. A couple of half-broken chairs around it. You see there's a chicken coop. Well, not a chicken coop. Like a pigeon coop. Out on the rooftop. But that's not important. What is important is whoever's standing in front of the open door.
Oh, shit.
With his back turned to you. For lack of a better word. It's a goddamn ninja. Swords on his back and everything. Here's the kicker. He hasn't noticed you. He's got his arms folded, and you see some of his wrappings and bands blowing in the wind. And he's just looking out over the darkening skies of Lincoln Gates.
Oh, how far away is he from me?
Less than 5 meters.
That's good. Sorry, there's no honor in surviving. You need to survive.
Who are you flying?
William McMillan. He's getting burnt alive.
I thought you had all your spells already done.
Oh yeah, patch by Portos with that. Take a difficulty 4, damage 3. Close range.
Yeah.
Can I take a full turn? Would that be reasonable?
Yes, that's absolutely reasonable.
Pretty much just to hit him.
So he starts, he lowers his arms like he kind of senses something when he's looking out over the roof.
Please.
Doesn't know it's right behind him.
So it's difficulty 4 for me.
Yeah.
No, difficulty 3 altogether because of my damage.
Alrighty.
I got 11 successes.
Okay, so lose 2 from there, so it's 9.
Yes, base damage 4.
And what was the difficulty? How many more did you get over?
The difficulty was 3.
So you got 6 more? Because you got 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 plus 4 is a base damage of 10. It is so bright, it's impossible for you to even see it. There's no screen. There's only the smell of heat. Like if you were in a furnace. It's that smell. It's just heat and fire. As it dies away, there's only a burn on the ground. There's nothing left.
That's probably wasn't, but Tetsu would have been able to see that coming.
Okay, so you breathe out and all this black smoke comes out of your mouth.
He would have knocked it away.
The Burninator.
But, like,
I had to do it.
Want to get your gear?
Yeah.
Okay, grabbing all your stuff, cell phone, everything like that. You got it all. Cell phone, it's ringing. It's Marla. Well, it's on silent, but you see it's calling.
I won't answer, but I won't decline. I'm going to leave it for now.
Savage.
No, so I get out of here and then call her.
Okay, so you're grabbing up all your stuff. You got your shirt on, you get your shoes on, or your boots, whatever they might be, and you're heading out. You taking the slippers?
Yeah.
Yeah, say yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice and comfy.
All right, so you're out on the rooftop now. You get street, you look, you can see me love you long time from here. There's still police cars there. Doing them, obviously, because they're doing a very long, exhaustive investigation. It's going to be over the course of days.
Are there any suspicion of seeing that giant light coming from the rooftop?
No, it was in a position that was facing in a different direction in Lincoln Gates. Looking down the streets, okay, you can see there's a Chinese place. You can see the bank down the street across from We Love You Long Time and everything
Where
like
that woman was kidnapped?
Yep, you're on top of a laundromat.
Okay. Is there like a fire escape I can take without going through?
Okay, it's called Washi Washi.
So I figured what.
How good is it that I turned that into a character in the game?
You throw away and.
Nope.
She was never a throwaway. She was best character.
Yep.
Do I see? Is there any fire escapes that go into?
Directly across the street is a spice shop, Spicy Tiger. Okay, fire escapes?
Yeah.
Yes, there's one on the back. Looks like it's seen a lot of use.
I want to start making my way over there.
Okay, start going down.
And I'm looking around to see if anyone else is here. Also guarding, because
Give me a perception wisdom roll because it's getting dark. -1.
I got 3. Why do I even try? Because I burned in yours.
There is nothing. Nothing going on at all. Luke, give me a defense roll. Half dice. Wait a minute.
I got 4.
4? Okay, Luke. Luke, something slams in the back of your neck, stings you. Suck!
No. No.
Keep going down the stairs? Or are you going to stop?
I'm going to keep on running because...
Yes. Okay, it's like a little bamboo dart.
Oh no, I know what it is.
You do?
It's good to try.
Chew on it?
No.
Use it like a toothpick?
No. Or it's going to knock me the fuck out.
Fill with Kobe.
Luke.
I didn't yell at you, Paul. It's just injuries.
Oh, you're a shit expert.
I don't support bestiality.
Really? The why you would see buffs.
Oh my god. It's animal cruelty all around. Alright, nonetheless. Luke, I'm going to need you to give me a roll.
Yes?
This is going to be your con and your endurance.
That's above
Hurry up.
average. I got 6.
Luke, you got it out in time. Feel a little woozy. A couple of the stairs that you're taking down the fire escape are like, whoa, but you're okay. Where you headed?
Probably into the core.
Scab.
Yeah, again.
Okay, you hear some Latino bang beat music coming from it. Scab 113.
Finally, it's here.
Okay, as you're getting close to it, it smells like reefer, tequila, burritos, and B.O.
Thank God. It's Carlos.
Yo, man! You need a ride?
Yes.
You got some funds?
Yes.
Okay, difficulty 2.
Hashtag best kid.
I'm taking a check mark on my wealth because I failed by 1.
So you just pay.
Yeah.
You don't even care. You're like looking at the money that you were supposed to be using for rent and you just hand it over to him. He goes, that was painful, wasn't it, man? He goes, here, wash it down with some tequila. Won't hurt so much.
And even though I'm still driving, I'm still
Hey, so
walking.
he's smoking on a reefer. He's driving, cop cars drive by. Just keep driving.
Okay.
Julio is the best.
But while we're still doing this, I want to watch to see if anyone's following.
Okay, you can give me a roll quick because I get these guys.
I got 1.
Okay, you're not being followed. Okay, so let's start with you.
Let's not.
Okay.
So I'm in a great spot. Am I able to try and see what these chains are attached to? The ceiling?
Okay, you can give me a perception roll. Minus 2 dice.
This is 1.
Okay. Bro, there are 4 hydraulic presses that are semi-built into the floor and walls. Okay? They go up about 6 feet off the floor, so you could be suspended 6 feet up. But right now they've got you to a position where it's very precarious. That if you're not constantly flexing the whole time, you're drowning. You gotta flex just to keep yourself out of the water. If you let it go, you relax into the water. Now, even if you were just a fraction of an inch higher, you just turn your head away, right? And be breathing. But now your nose is in the water constantly, sputtering and stuff. Now, you stay taut the whole time because it lowers all the chains at the same time and just raises them. It doesn't give slack to the chains. It just does that. So you just raise up or lower, like, you know what I mean? Like the
Presses.
whole thing. Yeah, like presses.
Alright, that seems like it's going to be a bad idea, but this whole thing's been a bad idea. Even in my weakened state, I'm going to see if I can try to...
Yes! Against all odds, the gun show. Come on, Hulk.
So I know it's going to be strength.
Yup. Strength. You just want to break the chains, right? You want to break out.
Effectively.
Yeah. Athletics.
4.
Bro, it's not enough. These
That
are
was-
indu- these
that
are
was
indu-
half.
Yeah, these are industrial trains. There's just no way.
If I wasn't bloodied, it would have been all 8.
Now, you definitely think if you were not in such a state, you might actually be able to do this. But you just simply cannot. You've lost too much blood. You've taken too much damage. Every single time you're doing it, you're starting to drown more and more violently. Sorry, bro. I'm going to move on. Mike, we're at you.
Alright, so first thing I want to know,
Mhm.
what's the surveillance in my room like?
Okay, so give me a perception and wisdom roll.
I got 3.
Okay, Michael. There are 2 surveillance cameras in opposite corners, diagonally opposite corners. And then in the corner that's opposite the doorway, the entrance, is a drone. A silent drone just hovering there. Look at this. Really? Really? That's light. Really?
Forgot the lasers.
No.
Why is there no dog?
To be fair, the drone has a rope to
Who
the
says
chair.
what's outside the door?
It's not
Now-
just a dog, it's a robotic dog.
Right? And why is this singular?
The chains I'm bound head to toe in.
Yeah.
What's the lock situation like on those?
They're behind you. Padlocks. Industrial grade. Not the high school bullshit.
The only thing I can think of is...
It's escape artist.
Yeah,
Houdini time! Oh, Houdini!
what would that be?
Dex and larceny.
Oh?
Yeah.
I got 8.
You're out. Dislocating a shoulder. Okay? Twisting a leg around. Holding in your breath. And then just slipping out. And things just start to rattle off of you. Slamming your shoulder back in and you're going over to your gear. Drone begins to hover down and follow you. That's not good.
No?
You're getting
But
in your
we
gear?
got out, yep.
Jason.
Hi, Paul.
Electrocution.
I'm gonna die. I'm
Woo!
gonna die. So first of all, I want to look at all my binds and see, or as best I can anyway.
Okay, so picture an electric chair.
So
All the straps, the
Leather
leather straps,
straps.
all that stuff, and the cap and everything. You got it all going on.
okay.
You are the convict. This is 12 midnight.
All right. Well, since
Well,
force
let's
entry
look
is
it up.
not going to work so well, I'll try larceny to try to see if I can slip out.
Okay, so you're going to try that, just like he did?
Yeah.
Give me a roll. Larceny and Dex.
Nope. 3.
Make the soak roll. You 2. You're unconscious. You so comes into the lion. Suicide, really? Comes into the predator. Suicide, really? Again!
Paul, the best
Noticing a trend.
is the only person who got out was the one person he didn't want to escape.
Yep. All right. So, predator, charred black. Well done. All right.
Okay, first things first, I need to investigate this room for anything else that
Sure.
I could have possibly have missed.
Remember, it's absolute darkness.
Yeah, I know. So I'm
Investigation, dexterity.
I got 4.
God. Are you even going to be alive on Wednesday?
I'm a
You
good
got
guy.
4?
Yeah.
Daniel, every time you start messing around with the air slit, you hear a click and a whir from deep inside of it. And you back away and it powers down. Okay. Everything else is exactly as I described the first time around.
Now, can I tell if
It is a bank vault.
can I tell if it's blowing in or out?
Blowing in.
Got it.
Into the bank vault. So it blows, it doesn't suck.
It's not a Dyson thing.
No.
Could I guess my only thing is I'm going to... Now, you said it was a really small vent, right? Like...
6 inches by 2 inches. 6 inches long, 2 inches wide.
Got it.
Put your pinky in there. Big ass thing.
No, but every time he does it, something clicks inside and begins to work. That's not good.
Alright, I'm going to go over to the slit, since that's the only other thing I can... That's
Okay.
in this room.
Remember, it can't be open from this side. Normally. You got something abnormally?
Highness?
Now,
My tongue is sticky like a toad.
can
Can you what? Butt cheek suction?
I don't have this.
attempting to, like, you know when
I'm waiting, Daniel.
I'm trying to, like, you know, do the whole thing where you, like,
It
try...
won't work. That will not work.
Okay.
You've already tried that. It seems like it moves a fraction of an inch and then gets stuck in place.
So there's something on the other side locking it.
The villains are smart.
You better get
Especially
good.
the intellectual of the group. The intellectual of the group.
Alright, how long...
I went to their group.
When the vent is going, do I smell anything? Like I'm gonna try the vent again. I'm trying to...
Give me a perception and wisdom roll. No, perception and dex roll. Everything's dex because it's too dark.
That is 7.
I am super chain. 7?
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel. Yeah, it smells kind of chemically for a moment, and then you back away again and it powers down. Smells like weird chemical, kind of sickly sweet.
It's a good smell. You should go back up to it.
I like it.
Because...
That's all it is. It's just Febreze that's shooting out at him.
See the Fabricator. That smells good.
He won't possibly figure it out.
Daniel? I'm genuinely kind of stuck here. Well, obviously I am.
So are we done? So you sit down. People are waiting.
Yes, I'm sitting down.
Twiddle the thumbs. Hi.
Hi.
We get to your room. Anyone? It's been a while.
Are the chains locked?
Yes. Padlocks. Behind the chair.
Is it one chain?
Yes, it's one long continuous chain.
How is it weaved to the table? Is it like a
There's a hook.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
there's a bar.
Yeah, that's what I
It
thought.
hooks right through. And keeps your hands chained to it.
So it's not cuffs.
So,
I like chaining multiple areas of my body. I don't like that. Okay.
Because you start having so many options. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. do cameras?
give me a roll.
Yeah,
Perception, wisdom. Right.
3?
Yeah, you do. 3? Yep. 2 cameras, one in the opposite corners.
Drone?
No drone for you.
You're not alone.
Is there a way
There's always
I
a way.
can escape but present myself as still tied?
Yes.
What would I be doing on that?
First thing is going to be
Escape first?
Yep, it's going to be a larceny in your decks,
Yeah.
and then it's going to be a deception in your decks. See how it works?
Yes.
How good?
Yes.
Do you love it?
That will be that.
Tell me you love this game.
I do love it. Okay, so 7.
You're out.
Now
That's how
it's-
easy it is, Jake. All right, next.
I know, right?
So you said now it's Perception index?
No,
No,
deception.
index, sorry.
Yes.
Deception. Another 7.
Everything is exactly the way it was, except that you're completely free.
I'm ready to talk.
Nice.
Look
Nice.
great at the kid.
Okay. So, Fabricator comes walking in. I hear that you're ready to be responsive.
That's quick.
He says, I was on the way anyway. He says, I had an understanding with you. Puts the tablet on the table. He activates it, and there's a holographic image of Predator, unconscious in an electric chair. It's still smoking. No. Now, he tried to escape, and he's hurt himself badly in the attempt. Now, I want you to understand something. I have to go, and I have to resolve this, but I promised you got to watch. I'm gonna leave this here for you. This choice has been made, and Predator's gone. It didn't help you spit in my face. Walking to the door.
When he turns around.
Yep. Is it time? Is it on?
Yeah.
That's where we're gonna leave it this week.
Oh!
How good!
That
Just
was-
out of the chains and lunging at him. That's where we leave
That's
it.
a moist move.